All right, welcome to Sunuka Marine, and this is Let's Read Japanese, course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. All right, today's episode is Ki no Nani Tabeta, episode 10. Episode 10. Yeah, so this is 10 of 12 episodes, so we're nearing the end, getting really close to the end of this. So once this series is done, we're going back to Shinya Shokudo, and then after that, I think I've got an idea of which episode's going to be the next after this. Be a 6-episode series, but I'll be splitting each episode to be into 2 parts. So 6 episodes, 12 videos. Yeah, so we'll be going on. Then we'll go going on in that level, in that direction. Yeah. All right. So there's not too much to say about from there on out. Other than I've got another, like I said, this video is going to be available on July the 19th. So that's about 6 days. Right now I've got a 6-day gap or a 6-day buffer. I need to get it back up to 14 days. I did have it. I let it eat away a little bit, which is good. I mean, like I said, that means if I'm not like putting videos out all the time, the buffer kind of helps keep it in play, where I can get these where they become public daily. So far so good, but yeah, it's easy to kind of fall off the horse on that one. Okay, with that out of the way, let's just say if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, like, and leave a comment if you can. If you like the series, like to see more, subscribe to the channel. If you like what I'm doing if you like this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. If you like that project, what I'm doing to help with the Japanese learning community, you can support that by becoming a member of the Patreon. The links are in the description below, as well as links to the Let's Learn Japanese website that Otaku Day put together, the Let's Learn Japanese community Discord. Finally, if you'd like to hire me on commission, that can also be done. The hourly rates and payments are done via the Patreon. And yeah, when I say by that, it's usually technical assistance or advice. It's people who need to get started, either trying to walk through some of the programs or materials that's now available that could be sometimes complicated, but again, just the initial stumbling block, get over that, and then off to the races on your own. Don't need anybody else's help after that. All right, with that said, I was like raining a lot, like really bad, like not too long ago here in Yokosuka, Japan. And now it's clearing up and the sun's coming back out, so it's probably going to now get muggy as all that water goes. It gets into the air. And I completely forgot to hook up my earphones, so that would have been fun. With that, let's get started. Do that. Okay. Kind of warm here as well, but no.
エステルーム？
エステルーム？
そう。上にさ、使ってないフロアあるじゃん。あそこを改装して。
No, it's reform or something. Renovation. 改装して。
あそこを改装してエステでもやったらいいかなと思って。
ああ。つまり玲子さんが仕事復帰するってこと？
Return to work? 仕事復帰。
どこかにつまり玲子さんが仕事復帰するってこと？
どこかに勤めると時間の融通きかないし。
あ、融通。Commission? 融通。Accommodation. 融通。時間の融通聞けないし。
どこかに勤めると時間の融通きかないし、下の子まだ手がかかるから、だったらここでやらせてもらった方がメリットある。下の子まだ手がかかるから、だったらここでやらせてもらった方がメリットあるかなと思って。
どうケンちゃん？
どうって この店ひろちゃんの店だし、玲子さん奥さんだし、2人がそうするって決めたなら俺がどうこういう話じゃないよ。
それはそうとしてうまくいくと思う？
Shake something real quick.
玲子さんお客さん掴むのうまいし、エステティシャンとしても腕いいから。玲子さんお客さん掴むのうまいし、エステティシャンとしても腕いいから大丈夫じゃない？
よかった。ケンちゃんが言うなら大丈夫だ。
おいおいおいおい、何？俺の意見だけじゃ不安だったってこと？ひどいね。
よかった、仲良さそうで。心配してたんだよ。
まあ罪滅ぼしの意味もあるにはある。
罪滅ぼし。善行。償い。
まあ罪滅ぼしの意味もあるにはある。
いろいろあっても夫婦だもんね。やっぱり家族なんだな。
あ、ケンジ、これ見てないだろ。昨日届いてたやつ。
千葉市。
ああ、あれか。この間お母ちゃんが電話で言ってたやつだ。うちの父ちゃんがさ、今千葉で生活保護を受けてんのよ。
生活保険 ?OK。Life insurance？
うちの父ちゃんがさ、今千葉で生活保護を受けてんのよ。
そうなのか。
生活保護って受給するには家族に扶養照会ってのが定期的に来るじゃない。
Okay, I misunderstood that. 生活保護。そう。Social Security insurance. で、扶養助け。Okay, so it's kind of like a support. 活面倒。扶養 and then 扶養照会。Kind of answer your questions. 問い合わせること。Inquiry reference。扶養照会。家族に扶養照会って。
家族に扶養照会ってのが定期的に来るじゃない。家族で扶養できませんかって。
これで扶養できませんか。
ああ、母ちゃんもう細かい書類がしんどいって言うんで、次から俺んとこに送ってって頼んだの。実家は埼玉なんだけどね。父ちゃんは俺が物心ついた時には。
物心。世の中の物心。
父ちゃんは俺が物心ついた時にはもう別に女作っちゃってて、めったに家に帰ってこなかったんだよね。
should be めったに。Yeah, really.
めったに家に帰ってこなかったんだよね。俺にとっては数ヶ月に一度戻ってきて、ちょっと家族に暴力振るって
Okay.
金奪って
Jeez.
またどっかに行っちゃうおじさんって感じの人で。
Wow, so he was abused and stole the money. Wow.
ちょっと家族に暴力振るって金奪ってまたどっかに行っちゃうおじさんって感じの人で。
それお前
でも急に来なくなったんだよね。最後に会ったのは俺が中3の時かな。
Oh.
いいね子。
So this is when he was like, basically when he was 15 years old. So you could be a pretty,
いいね子。
that's an age and a size where you could probably take care of an adult. It depends on the adult, obviously. It depends on you, but if it comes down to physical force.
開けろっているの分かってんだぞ。開けろっておい。でかくなっちゃってたんだよね。
お前が？
うん。でかくなったのは背ばかりで、心はふんわり乙女のままだったんだけど。
Yeah, so you, oh yeah, I can see that. Like I said, like I was a kind of a, not big as in tall, but burly. But I wasn't like considered, I don't know, not like an abusive or a fighter or anything. I can see that. I think most people are not violent in that.
父ちゃんそんなの知らないし、心はふんわり乙女のままだったんだけど。
ふんわり。乙女。
心はふんわり乙女のままだったんだけど、父ちゃんそんなの知らないし、急に息子が自分超えて男になっちゃったもんでビビっちゃったんだろうね。
ケンジ何か言ったのか、お父さんに。
言ったような気もするし、よく覚えてない。
Yeah, I mean, personally, like my biological father, I don't think I saw him after I was like 7 years old, right? I only talked to him once after that by phone, and then until he, yeah, and that was it. I mean, that was my only contact with him last time.
でもそれから急に来なくなったんだよね。でも。それから急に来なくなった。
Oh, there we go.
よく覚えてない。でもそれから急に来なくなったんだよね。もともと酒の勢い借りないと何もできない気の小さい人だったし、まあそれで20年後にこの手の通知書が届いたってわけ。
通知書？
まあそれで20年後にこの手の通知書が届いたってわけ。
当然扶養できませんって回答したんだろ。
There's the 当然扶養できません。
もちろん。
当然扶養できませんって回答したんだろ。
もちろんだよ。でもまあこれが唯一父ちゃんが生きてる証っていうか。
お母さん離婚しなかったんだな。
白黒つけられない夫婦って。
白黒。Let's see what that is. Wait. See if that's a full phrase. So settle. Oh, there we go. Settle according to law. 法律の okay to settle something. 白黒をつけられない夫婦って。
白黒つけられない夫婦って案外いるよ。店長のとこもなんだかんだ続いてるし。
久しぶりのお店出られたんですね。なんだろう、何ですか。お店にいらっしゃると、本当に落ち着きます。気持ちがいい。
Uh-oh.
いい感じです。こうお店にいらっしゃるとなんかやっぱ生き生きしてらっしゃいますね。
外出るとまあいいですよね。
で、キラキラしてらっしゃる。じゃあエステがオープンしたら一番にお願いするね。
I'm not seeing it. Oh, okay. Jeez, I was missing
じゃあで。
外出るとまあいいですよね。
で、キラキラしてらっしゃる。じゃあエステがオープンしたら一番にお願いするね。
ありがとうございます。お試しで料金もサービスしますから。
本当？
瀬島さん、もっと綺麗になりますよ。
やだ、嬉しい。あそこそこ。数字って。
そう、この辺に結構疲れてるんですよね。
すごくめっちゃいいですよ。
ちょっとあれ大丈夫なの？ひろちゃん、瀬島さんとはもう別れ。
瀬島。いや、瀬島さんとは。
瀬島さんとはもう別れたの？
別れてはいない。
ダメです。
玲子さんは彼女がひろちゃんの浮気相手だってことは知ってんの？
いや知らないと思う。いや分からないの。分からないね。
ひろちゃんさ、もうこれ耐えられんの？俺やだよ、こんなヒリヒリした職場。
だからごめん。
Jesus. All right.
あ、そうですか。大丈夫ですか。あ、よかった。じゃあ火曜日の夜に。小日向さんがそれでよければ。はい。はい。じゃあ。
例の飲み会の約束？
おう、火曜の夜でいいだろ。
うん。でもなんだろうね、渡くんなしで3人でって。
いつものジルベールの愚痴だろ。
大丈夫かな。本気で別れたいとかの相談だったりして。
ないない。どうせ最後はのろけになるパターンだろ。
There's Nodoke again, like the little family drama play, or love, bragging about one's love life. Okay, Nodoke, Nodokeru. 自分の夫婦や恋人と間の持つまじいことを得意になっていいとの話で聞かせる。And by the way, I'll just mention, if you have both a Japanese dictionary, where again with Japanese definitions, and you have this is not really an English dictionary. I mean, yeah, I'll call it a Japanese English dictionary. If you look at the English definition, don't be afraid to actually go back and reread the Japanese definitions if need be. You know, since you kind of like, oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. Then you kind of like reread again. Now all of a sudden, a lot more of it makes sense. Like the stuff that starts be connecting it better back together. Yeah, don't be afraid to do that. I think personally, I feel like maybe why I don't do it. One, it just takes a little, like it takes an extra time to do that, but also maybe because I am on live stream. But it's not a bad habit to have. Because you want to get into the habit of looking at the Japanese definitions, being comfortable with, figure out what a word means just with the Japanese definitions if possible. バイブ
あ、また小日向さんだ。
またコーヒーになった。
はい。あ、もしもし。
もしもし。
え？いや、もらっちゃっていいんですか？あ、いやいや、うちに来てもらうのは悪いんで。火曜日で大丈夫です。小日向さん、真面目なトーンでそういうことやめてくださいよ。はい、それじゃあ。真面目なトーンでそういうことやめてくださいよ。はい、それじゃあ。
Kenji is very jealous right now.
小日向さんまた何かくれるって？
I like that. 小日向さん。小日向さん、huh?
チケット？
チケット？
いや、そういうんじゃないんだけど。あ、そうだ、風呂入れてくる。
で、Oh boy.
ごめんね、いろいろ面倒かけて。
面倒かけて。
また一緒に働けて嬉しいよ。
一緒に。嬉しい。
でもいよいよこの店も夫婦二人三脚でって感じになるね。
二人さん逆二人の一組で。Okay. Oh, so that's like a three-legged race. Yeah, right there. 二人三脚。二人三脚で。
でもいよいよこの店も夫婦二人三脚でって感じになるね。
俺邪魔になっちゃうかな。
どうかな。私仕事復帰して自信ついたら
私、仕事復帰して。
態度変えると思うよ。ケンちゃん、大事な人に絶対に浮気なんかされちゃダメよ。許すなんてそう簡単にできることじゃないんだから。
Where did that come from?
ほんといいですよ、これ。すっごい量入るし。
So it's one of those. Let me just play again.
大事な人に絶対に浮気なんかされちゃダメよ。許すなんてそう簡単にできることじゃないんだから。
ほんといいですよ、これ。すっごい量入るし、そこしっかりしてるし。でもこれいいブランドのやつですよね。アウトドア専門の。いいんですか？
アウトドア？
いや、すいません。すっごい嬉しい。アウトドア専門の。
アウトドア専門。
いいんですか？いや、すいません。すっごい嬉しい。ありがとうございます。はい。じゃあ。
ただいま。
おう、早かったな。そっか、ケンジいるなら人であるか。久々に水餃子にするか。なあ、餃子でいいか。包むの少し手間だけど。
いいね餃子。
いいね餃子。
手伝うよ。
どうした？
シロさん、火曜の小日向さんとの飲み会俺行けなくなっちゃった。今度うちの店改装するでしょ。
ああ、改装する。
今度うちの店改装するでしょ。その打ち合わせに俺に来てほしいって店長に頼まれて。
Kind of a meeting. その打ち合わせに。
その打ち合わせに俺に来てほしいって店長に頼まれて。それが火曜の夜なんだよ。
いいよ、分かった。じゃあ俺と小日向さんで飲むよ。
シロさん。
Uh-oh.
シロさんも行くのやめてもらえないかな。
なんで？だって俺まで行かなくなっちゃったら飲み会自体なくなっちゃう。
だから俺が行かないとシロさんと小日向さん二人っきりってことになっちゃうでしょ。それはダメだよ。
おいおい、ちょっと待てよ。なあケンジ、小日向さんはそもそもジルベールの愚痴が言いたくて俺たち誘ってんだぞ。小日向さんはジルベールにベタ惚れなんで俺たち誘ってんだぞ。小日向さんはジルベールにベタ惚れなんだよ。お前
ベタボレ。Madly in love? Yeah, ベタボレ。さあ、自分で。
小日向さんはジルベールにベタ惚れなんだよ。お前も見て分かってるだろう。俺と二人っきりになったからって何かあるとかありえないから。
でもね、シロさん、お互い恋人がいるのにまさかただの仕事仲間のつもりがまさかお客さん相手にまさか半径5メートル以内の人間が
I know that's a circumference. Or diameter, or yeah, the radius. Let's see. Yeah, the radius. 半径5メートル以内。Is 田舎 something. 田舎。
半径5メートル以内の人間が恋仲になるとき大抵まさかって言いながら始まるんだよ。ましてや俺たちゲイじゃん。
ましてや俺たちゲイじゃん。
ましてや俺たちゲイじゃん。お仲間に出会うチャンスもない中でもし本当にタイプの人と会っちゃったらどう？その人に恋人がいてそれでもこの機会を逃したらもう一生ないかもってなったら理性を失うこともあるんじゃない？理性それでもこの機会を逃したらもう一生ないかもってなったら理性を失うこともあるんじゃない？
お前いい加減にしろ。
だってシロさん小日向さんのことタイプでしょ。最初会った時ちょっといいかなって思ったでしょ。絶対二人っきりで会わないで。何ストーカーみたいなこと言ってんだって思ってるかもしれないけど。思ってるかもしれないけど、もし本当に絶対二人っきりで会わないで。何ストーカーみたいなこと言ってんだって思ってるかもしれないけど、もし本当にそうやって シロさんに浮気されちゃったら俺
どうした？
なあ、どうした？
ね、シロさん、どうして俺がシロさんにこんなこと言うかっていうとね、俺も昔恋人がいたのに、そういう状況でフラッと浮気したことがあって。
フラット。浮気した。うん。
そういう状況でフラッと浮気したことがあって。
浮気した。はい、OK。
恋人傷つけて。
うん。
何もかもぶち壊しちゃったことがあるからなんだよ。何もかもぶち壊しちゃったことがあるからなんだよ。
Yeah, you kind of. I mean, it's still a little too serious. You gotta be careful about being too controlling of the other person. They hold too tight, then they kind of slip through. But at the same time, you can kind of understand his jealousy, but it's like,
Kenji.
嫌いになったでしょ、俺のこと。普通に聞くよね。心の狭いこと言ってるって分かってる。
心の狭いこと。
心の狭いこと言ってるって分かってる。自分が浮気したことあるくせに人向かい。
Basically, he's jealous because he himself had an affair.
最低だもんね。
ケンジ。
人向かいって最低だもんね。
人向かいって。人向かい。人向かい。
人向かいって最低だもんね。
ケンジ。
Jeez. Yelling warning. Sorry about that.
俺ってバカ。こんなこと言ったらシロさんに嫌われて愛想つかされて。
そう
シロさんに嫌われて愛想つかされて疑られて。
Uzagarete. I know it's like noisy or annoying behavior. Uzagarete.
疑られて最終的に捨てられるって分かってんのにバカ。
ケンジ。嫌ったりしないよ。
But I mean, obviously, again, it kind of makes sense. He, again, he saw it ever since like the second episode. You kind of saw how he's like super jealous. So I mean, it's not like this is completely out of character. It's just it's his character, and some of it is he kind of blames himself because he's had the very failing that he is now afraid other people could have. Okay. Doesn't make him.
もしもし小日向さん、家計ですけど、 すいません。今度の火曜日、俺もケンジも急に予定入っちゃって。本当すいません。また今度。じゃあ。これでいいか？
シロさん、
ごめん。
ごめん。本当にごめん。
もういいから。餃子作ろうぞ。
いいから。
もういいから。
餃子作るぞ。
餃子作るぞ。
手洗ってこい。
手洗ってこい。
本当ごめんね、俺変なこと言って。
なんかあったのか？
なんか
店長の家がちょっとゴタゴタし始めてて。
ゴトゴト。うん。ゴトゴト。ゴタゴタ。
店長の家がちょっとゴタゴタし始めてて。
ゴトだし。
あとこれ。
これ。あ
え？小日向さんにもらったんでしょ？
なんでしょ？うん。
あ？
あんなに喜んじゃって。
お前な、これは佳代子さんがくれたんだよ。
え？
俺がいつもレジ袋何度も再利用してんの見てて、
レジ袋。
家で余ってるからってくれたんだよ。大きすぎて重くなるから。
うん。
家で余ってるからってくれたんだよ。大きすぎて重くなるから佳代子さん逆に使いにくいんだって。
そうなの？
大体お前がしょっちゅうレジ袋もらってくるのが悪いんだからな。俺は常にエコポイント貯めてるのに。
Plus, now since this, in recent years, I think the last 2 years, year or two, now you got to pay the equivalent of 3 cents or 3 yen for every registered bag that you use. If you use it, if you don't want to use your own bag or backpack or whatnot.
ごめん、ヒロさん。もう佳代子。
佳代子さんは悪くないだろうが。
But it's okay. I mean, even then, it's still good that okay. It started off with bad reasons, but even if that wasn't the bag, it could have been something else that could have set it off. So it is a good to get this out and don't just like repress these feelings that you're having. Like, okay, he does again. This is the way he is. He feels jealous. He can't help that emotion. Now he can pretend it doesn't. He can not try not to show it to other people, but it's very difficult for him to not show his emotions. So I think it's really healthy for him to at least get it out. You know, to say it to the other. Maybe not in the outburst that he had, but you know, because he understands it's not a good type of jealousy. Is not a very good emotion to display to other people. He understands that. He understands something that could be kind of distasteful. Even though now again, maybe Kakei-san was being a little nice and he's okay with that. He doesn't hate that at all, and whatnot. But I think he just likes it better that again they're honest with each other. I think that would work out for the best. Because obviously I misinterpreted it. Like my understanding, what I never saw it, my wife explained, was obviously like the like Koinada-san was supposed to be like really, really handsome. So I never saw that. He always seemed like this weird guy that kind of like didn't talk much, like had a piercing gaze, and then he would turn into quickly on a dime to being, kind of like this more of a weak character, being submissive to Shirobei or whatever the character's name, Wataru-kun. So to me, I always thought, look at him like that. But I guess what's really is that no, actually, he's supposed to be this very handsome guy that you know, other men would find it, other gay men would find attractive, and women as well. So okay, then that kind of makes sense where this kind of jealousy is coming from, because he just didn't seem like the type of character that Kakei would fall, you know, because obviously you see Kakei, the type of, although you did see his last boyfriend is a bit more tall and strong looking, so maybe that's also but again, I don't know, you never saw his personality, but he seemed you know, whereas again, I just I misinterpreted it, which now kind of makes sense. I was kind of wondering, like, why does he want to hang out with this other couple like that? And now it's gonna make sense. Like, maybe there was an attraction. He didn't really know how to deal with it. He was kind of dealing with it in his own way. But so in that hindsight, and you know, me trying to think about the story, it's like Kenji's jealousy is kind of justified, because there is some sort of attraction there between, or at least between Kakei and no, maybe it's not reciprocated, but the attraction at least is one way, where he does find Koinada kind of attractive.
Nanda.
And I don't think they've gone over a recipe yet, so that's very unusual.
もう10時か。
おはよう、シロさん。
あ、ケンジ。お前今日土曜だぞ。仕事。
今週末休みなんだよ。ほら、店改装工事入るって言ってたでしょ。
今週末。
あ、そっか。
ほら、今週末休みなんだよ。ほら、店改装工事入るって言ってたでしょ。
あ、そっか。じゃあこの土日お前も休みなの？
うん。
お前も休みか。いいもん作ってやる。ちょっと待ってろ。
じゃあ俺
Here comes the recipe.
部屋掃除してきちゃうね。
あ、頼む。よし、休日のブランチだ。まずはバターだ。バター 30g を弱火で溶かして、全体が溶けたら火を止めておく。次に小麦粉 100g に
Flour. Actually, that's maybe not necessarily buckwheat flour. Yeah, wheat flour. Komugi.
砂糖 20g。次に小麦粉 100g に砂糖 20g を入れてざるで振るう。粉。
ざるで。Oh, that's a strainer, huh? Okay. Bamboo basket. So I think it's just a term for, yeah, a colander. All right. And what is furu? I think it's that one, shake. Not that one. That's shaking. Furu. There we go. This furu. Okay. Yeah, this is it's it's gonna, sometimes you gotta go like, again, all those words were the saying sieve. This is okay, so it's not a common kanji. Furu. Okay. But it's a simple kanji. Like if you look at that kanji, furu, and maybe I shouldn't have I mean, because you look at me, and obviously it's just, you know, the bamboo symbol up top, so that's super simple. So if you know, like taki, like for, but it's like kasa for, so taki is or actually you think of dragon, so it's stand and eel, right? View. So if you add the water side, it becomes taki, waterfall. But you add the bamboo basket over the top, it becomes hat. So here you have is think of for the master or maestro, okay, sheet. Put the two bamboos over it, now it becomes a sieve or a strainer. So it's, the kanji is very super simple. It just said it's not a common kanji. It's because it's not used that much. I mean, but the word is common. I would be honest. I bet you if they just in Japanese school, if they just and I'm speaking from experience because I've taught kids how to write some complicated kanji. They pick it up like that. You know, if they instead of worrying about teaching kids, and I'm not sure if they're just doing it by stroke order, but they stress the stroke order too much as opposed to, you know, just try to think of it in parts. We already know the stroke order, but if you know the stroke order for tatsu and maybe give it a name, even though it doesn't, there's no kanji for it, like the bottom part of turtle, kame is, you know, so we say eel, makes sense, right? But like the bottom part of eel, that's not too common. So bamboo, or okay, so take, ritsu, or just saying tatsu, and then eel, whatever it would be for that. And I think kids would pick that up. I mean, it'd be super simple, and they, you know, they already know how to do the stroke orders for all the small parts anyway. So it just they will pick up these kanji fairly rapidly. I mean, I don't think it'd be that complicated. And again, I could be wrong. Like maybe they do it that way, but it just seems like they don't. It's still kind of weird how they'll write a kanji and they'll immediately write the furigana above it. It's just that's just their habit for it, which is cute. No, I mean I think it's kind of cute when they do it, but it just seems a little excessive. But you know, it's just the way they're taught in school. Anyway.
古いなんておしゃれなものはうちにざるで振る。
ざるで振る。
粉古いなんておしゃれなものはうちに。
粉古い。
粉古いなんておしゃれなものはうちにはないからな。全部振るったらもう一度振る。
So strain it once and one more time.
この工程だけはおろす。
工程？
この工程だけはおろそかにはできないんだよな。
おろそか。Silly, excessive, neglectful. おろそかに。この工程だけ。
この工程だけはおろそかにはできないんだよな。ちゃんとやっておかないと後で生地にダマができる。
Okay. And by the way, now when I was cooking as a kid and making pancakes and stuff, I seed flour and whatnot, just to get out all the excess. So you just got nice, good flour at the bottom. So I can understand about doing the double sieving and whatnot. I haven't cooked in a long time, but when I was a kid.
粉が震えたら卵2個を溶きほぐして粉のくぼみに流し
溶きほぐして溶きほぐ溶きほぐして
粉のくぼみに流し
くぼみに
粉のくぼみに流し泡立て器で混ぜ合わせる。粉が震えたら卵2個を溶きほぐして粉のくぼみに流し泡立て器で混ぜ合わせる。
The bubbles? So that's a whisk? Egg beater whisk. 泡立て器。
粉のくぼみに流し泡立て器で混ぜ合わせる。
泡立て器
でここに牛乳 250cc をちょっとずつ加えてさらに混ぜる。まあうちの場合は低脂肪乳だけど。そして最後に溶かしバターをこれまた少しずつ加えて。
Yeah, if you want a little flat milk, but you're putting it all this butter into it. Yeah.
よく混ぜる。
Now, is this for French toast or is this pancakes? I think it's French toast. No, wait. If it's just French toast, it'd just be eggs.
念のため。
But that would be pretty good for No, because it was French. If it was pancakes, he'd add the baking. He had to add the baking soda. So it's probably is. This probably is French toast. Oh, crepes. Crepes. He's making crepes.
この生地をさっき粉をふるったざるでさらにこして、
この生地を
さ念のためこれまた少しずつ加えてよく混ぜる。念のためこの生地をさっき粉をふるったざるでさらにこして、ラップをかけて冷蔵庫で30分休ませる。これで生地の仕込みは完了。さて具を作るか。玉ねぎは薄切りにして塩少々を振っておく。トマトとキュウリは薄切り。レタスは適当にちぎっておく。
ちぎっておく。適当にちぎって、いや、ちぎり。指先で。Okay, yeah, tear into pieces. ちぎっておく。
レタスは適当にちぎっておく。
Okay, it looks like
玉ねぎがしんなりしてきたら、
しんなりして。玉ねぎがしんなりして。
玉ねぎがしんなりしてきたら水で洗って水気を切って、油を切ったツナと合わせて、マヨネーズと醤油少々、胡椒で味をつける。
Okay, that with the particular onions. Okay.
ハムエッグは半熟に仕上げる。
半熟。half soft boiled or soft cooked runny eggs, right? 半熟。half cooked. 半熟。
君のハムエッグは半熟に仕上げる。君のとろっとしたのが最高だからな。
君ととろっとした。I know it's like runny or とろっとした。Let's hear that again. とろっとした。Syrupy. Okay. 君のとろっとした。
君のとろっとしたのが最高だからな。さてと、次は甘いのだ。チョコレート 50g に対して牛乳 40cc を入れてチョコレートソースを作る。チョコレートが溶けたら出来上がり。
50 grams into 40 cc's of milk. Okay.
チョコレートが溶けたら出来上がり。そうこうしてるうちに生地もいい頃合いだろう。
シロさん。あ。何これ。あ。今時水着のポスターとか欲しがる？
今時水着の。
かもこんな大きな。
広げなくていい。
That's Mitsuya.
小日向さんに。
I'm wondering if that's probably an actual gravure, whatever gravure. This is kind of a creepy thing, but I guess it's also happens in the States where a lot of the younger actresses, like they'll do poses in swimsuits and whatnot for magazines. Gravure, I guess is the term. I keep pronouncing. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. It seems kind of, especially because they're on the young side. Like even Definitely if they're under 18, that's just like kind of definitely that is creepy. But yeah, you do see it in magazines or whatnot. And so yeah, if you search for like actresses' names, because you know sometimes I got to do it for the when I'm making my cards, and I try to like so when I'm making the sentence cards, what I'm doing is I'm doing it through Morphman. And what I'd like to do is add the not only the character's name, but then add the actor or actress that played the part, and then add a photo. Now, normally I don't need to search for photos because the photos are already in, because I'm using like D-Addicts, and then they happen to have a glamour shot for the particular actor or actress, so I just use that most of the time. But if you do look up, like you want to find out more about a character, like you look in their Wikipedia page or you're looking at the characters, say like what else have they done, then you do see like photos like in swimsuits pop up for them. It's like, and yeah, so that that's a it's definitely a commonplace. But again, gravure. I'm sure there's a better term for it. And there's probably some other terms based on what level this be done and what the purpose is. Like, because there's they have the term talent, which I guess is different than actor or actress, which is different than obviously Seiyu for voice actors, which is different than someone who's like the singer or dancers. And so they got all sorts of different terminologies based on the type of entertainer they happen to be or why they're popular. But yeah, I guess someone who's like the late, but I would think he was more of a fan of her as an actress, not how she looks, but how she, her character. So I mean, I don't know why he would want a swimsuit photo unless it was from a particular part that she played. But it didn't sound like when he was describing her, like he seemed to like have a very particular thing with one of her, maybe like he was more, again, I would think he'd rather, again, just have a poster of one of the characters she played or her as a part instead of like posing in a swimsuit.
もらう予定だったの。
広げなくていい。
小日向さんにもらう予定だったのってこれ。
そうだけど、いやレアなんだよ。30年前の三谷真美のポスターは今すっごい値打ちあるんだよ。売ると高い。
Oh, in good condition. And price. Valuable. すごいね。
今すっごい値打ちあるんだよ。売ると高いんだよ。
でも水着なんだ。
へえ。
そんなのいいからこっち手伝えよ。
何作ってんの？あ、
クレープだよ。
うっそ。休日のブランチにクレープやだ、おしゃれ。
No! I would be so freaking pissed. I mean, there's a certain level, there's a certain okay jealousy, but you respect other people's stuff, especially a two-person place. Come on now. You just don't throw somebody else's material around like that. So I like it. He does.
手伝う。何すればいい？ねえねえ。
じゃ
Okay.
あ悪いけど生クリーム泡立ててくれ。
オッケー。これね。はい。クレープ。嬉しいな。
Now, I never made crepes. I've had it once. I'm not a fan of crepes. I don't like the texture too much, and it just seems all messy and stuff when you eat it. Yeah, so that's. But it is kind of cool when it's done in sort of a cake fashion, where you just do layers of crepes and then make it into a cake. A little bit of cream in between each stack. That I like, but I'm just not quite a fan of the crepes where they fold the material inside of it. But crepes are very popular in Japan, so you can't go to a mall, and there's definitely most likely going to be a crepe stand.
へえ、クレープってほんとすぐ焼き上がっちゃうんだね。
でも何枚も焼くからまあまあの作業量だけどな。
Yeah. So there you go with the food.
素敵ブランチだ。
飲み物は？紅茶でも入れる？
Beer.
休日だぜ。しかも明日も休みだ。
だよね。乾杯。真っ昼間のビール。
Where are we at here? Mapiru. Right in the middle. Mapiruma.
最高。真っ昼間のビール。最高。
さあ食おう。
いただきます。お先に。俺はツナマヨと
Okay.
トマトとキュウリと。
So basically, it's like sometimes you treat it like a sandwich. Other times you add like
じゃあ俺は
more of a dessert.
ハムエッグとトマトとチーズだな。
That sounds good. Messy as hell. I'm sure it's messy as hell, but yeah, wrap it up. So yeah, it's just basically a dessert burrito. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Dessert burritos. Instead of tortillas.
このチーズとロリの半熟卵とロリのハムがちょっとしょっぱいの。このチーズとロリの半熟卵とロリのハムがちょっとしょっぱいの。間違いないな。
いいな。俺も次それやろう。
ツナマヨはどうよ。
ツナマヨもいける。
俺クレープって甘いのしか食べたことなかったけど、おかずクレープも美味しいね。
この飯にもなる、おやつにもなるっつうところがクレープのいいとこなのよ。
これ何個でも入っちゃう。
Oh. A little notification.
シロさん、父ちゃんのことなんだけどさ、俺思い出したんだよ。俺言ったんだった。
なんだった？
あの時父ちゃんに。
帰ってください。
あ
あ。はあ？迷惑です。もう来ないでください。
許せなかったんだよね。やっぱ。そうか。どんなに関係の深い人でも許せない人と続けていくのはしんどいよ。
しんどい。Hear that again.
どんなに関係の深い人でも許せない人と続けていくのはしんどいよ。
I wonder if that's a full phrase. So deeply connected people. Let's see. No.
そうだよな。
そうだよな。
ごめんね。いい気分の時に。ごめん。
さあ、いよいよデザート系に行くか。
Okay, there's the butter.
何これ、砂糖レモンバター、めちゃくちゃうまい
It's a sugar and lemon butter.
よ。
Banana with pudding
こ
with
れは
chocolate.
王道のクレープ屋さんの味だね。
Odo. I've seen it before, but so it's probably just a regular term. So Odo no crepe.
これは王道のクレープ屋さんの味だね。
So maybe that might actually just be a franchise in Japan. I could be wrong. I mean,
バナナとヨーグルトと蜂蜜、こっちもいけるよ。
I can believe that banana. Wow, yeah, that banana yogurt and honey. Come on now.
あ、いいこと思いついちゃった。
Cream and ice cream and
シロさん、当たり。
but I guarantee you though, that would be messy as hell. Like your fingers and everything just be covered. Right? It wouldn't look as neat as they're making it look right now. I'm pretty sure that would be like super messy if they were really eating what was
さすが
inside
にお
there.
腹いっぱいになってきちゃった。
そうだな。
外、いい天気だね。
Actually, it's pretty good weather outside right now. Although it might be muggy as hell.
2人でこんなご飯が食べられるなんて最高の休日。ほんと幸せ。ありがとね、シロさん。
あ
Hopefully, you put the poster up.
あ、なあ、ケンジ。
ん？
あのさ、俺もお前にごめんごめんって謝り倒されるよりありがとうって言って
Let me make sure about that. Okay.
ありがとうって言って俺もお前にごめんごめんって謝り倒されるよりありがとうって言ってもらえる方がずっと嬉しいよ。
ああ。
だからさ、もう謝んなくていいって。
うん。ありがとう、シロさん。なんかさ、こういう休日もいいけど、いつか2人で旅行とかにも行きたくない？どっかひなびた温泉地とかさ。
どっかひなびた。Rural Hinabita. Wow, I've never seen that kanji. Wow. Lowly countryside. Hinabita. Yep.
どっかひなびた温泉地とかさ。
温泉って泊まるの旅館だろ。旅館に中年男2人でって。
じゃあ4人では2人だとゲイカップルだけど4人ならグループ旅行じゃん。小日向さんとジルベール誘ってさ。
4人ならってお前あの2人と言ったらまた変な嫉妬とかするだろう。俺と小日向さんが露天風呂なんかに入った日にゃ。
Open air bath. Okay, 露天風呂。
俺と小日向さんが露天風呂なんかに入った日にゃ。やめてだからな、今日みたいな休日が一番なんだよ。
俺も話だけしたかったの。旅行行きたいね。
ってみたかっただけ。
いいじゃんそういうの。
付き合いたての甘ったれたカップルみたいで。
でも白状するとな、確かに小日向さんは割と俺のタイプで、一瞬
確かに小日向さんの割と俺のタイプで
一瞬勘違いしたりしたこともあったんだよ。
いや、
ごめんなケンジ。
メリークリスマス。筧さん絶対僕らへの
筧さん。
嫌がらせでしょ。
真面目な子だと。
What's that?
筧さん絶対僕らへの嫌がらせでしょ。
真面目な子だと思ってたのに。
俺がゲイだって分かった時どう思ったんだろうって。
Alright. Let's see, what's the time now? 1:10. So I wasn't pausing as much. I mean, I paused quite a little bit during there. But for the most part, I think I was letting it play through most time. And a lot of the reason why it's taking so long because I was repeating a lot more lines than normal. It's not there. Again, it was an okay one. The B story, the slight story about again his boss having an affair with one of the clients, and then of course, and then the wife is also like taking care of the same client. That was hence the term like don't shit where you eat. You're gonna have a maybe not with someone who's going to be coming into the same place, because if it goes badly, it's best if like there's not a that's why office affairs could be a very bad thing. Even if you're not married, just if it goes badly, well great, now you got to work together. That could be why it's discouraged. I don't think it should be fireable because again, humans are human. Something they can say discouraged because again, just it's not when things go right. It's kind of like a lot of things when you deal with law. You got to worry about not when everything is going right. When you're planning something, you go into a business partnership or you're doing something, you kind of think, well, what'll happen when things go wrong? Like if you get hired at a job, you have to also think about what happens when you decide to quit the job. What are the impact ramifications? And so you want to be careful. Like if the job you're taking gives you housing, well, remember if you lose that job, you lose the housing. So keep that in the back of your head. If it has to do with moving, if you quit your job, well, you're in a new location. Do you have the support structure? Should the job, when you don't have that job, those things like that. Similar ideas with the relationships when you decide to move in together. Well, whose name goes on the lease? Do you both own it? It's easier when you get into marriage. It could be, but even that's complicated. It's a little more straightforward in Japan, and they demand like someone has a name on it. Someone like with businesses, the idea of a dual-owned business is very rare in Japan. Like there's just one owner, it's pretty much like one person who calls the shots. Whereas it's a little more complicated in the U.S. But again, that's where you get into contract laws, where it gets really. That's why lawyers are always going to be employed, because you want to have bases covered. Not when, and like how they say it, like contracts are about, and agreements are about when things go bad. That's why you want to have contracts and agreements. It's not about putting an agreement about what you do when things are going great, because no one cares about that. That's just awesome. But yeah, when there's a breakup, a split, when there's a change, then yeah, it's best if that's in writing, because then there's less to argue about. And again, that's not a guarantee. That's not, by the way, it's not that just because it's written down doesn't mean that's the only thing. Again, because that's where most of the things when you're dealing with law, I'm pretty sure everything adds it depends to it. I'm pretty sure, especially now, like with my case where I'm in Japan. So, what I know about law, the very little that I know, most of it applies in U.S. So what things that happen in Japan just completely different. And so that's all I can really say about that. I cannot speak from any sort of experience or authority. dealing with the law in Japan. And I think, and you would think like most laws should go down to, hey, what is right? What common sense wise? Come on, what is right? No, that's almost never the case. It's really what is written down. Because you said this very reason why you can have pachinko parlors existing, because again, they get around the written law. This is also, but again, you break the law, they're going to come down on you hard and fast. So that the very thing, just as they're willing to work around law but still follow the letter of it, is the reason why they will also hammer you with the letter of law as well. And this, we're not even talking about the criminal aspects of things. Man, get arrested, like you can be basically put in a hole for 21 days, and not even have to be. They don't even have to tell anyone about it. You know, they basically, while they're building their case, that's pretty bad in my opinion. But I mean, there are probably countries that are worse. But yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, I've known a few people that had to go through that type of experience. Like my job in the Navy, because again, like a few people in my command a couple people got arrested. You know, not at the same time, different times. But yeah, me and Chief go down together to the police station. You know, go into the visiting area. They bring the person here. There's the cop waiting. They tell you, you know, hey, you've got no right to. There's no privacy in the conversation. They can record it. They can pay attention to it. You know, the cop's not speaking, but you know, you kind of assume like he probably actually knows English, but he's not going to talk to you in English at all. Part of that is also mental games on if they can get, you know, someone to talk. Yeah. I assume. Now, I could be wrong. You know, it could just be a little paranoid on that, but you know, I can imagine that being the case. Yeah, it's definitely, you don't want to be arrested in Japan. I'll just say that. Even I've never been arrested in Japan. I've never been arrested, but you probably don't want to be arrested in Japan. It's probably not going to be it's one of those experiences you don't need on your bucket list. Try to keep that one thing off your bucket list, and I think you'll be fine. I don't know why got into this, but part of it was, again, now that I realize it, yeah, it was like we were just talking about how you saw there was this affair that was happening, and the person who he was having an affair with was still coming to the business, and that's just like, and you kind of assume the wife is aware of it. You're getting hints, like you don't know for sure, but you kind of get the feeling, because again, you know, spousal, and it could be the daughter talked, but you know, the wife doesn't. If the wife doesn't bring it up because she feels like it'll build an unnecessary strain that could split the marriage apart, business apart, which can cause complications. So you can kind of see there's a lot more calculus going on than just the fact this guy is having sex outside of the marriage. But at the same time, maybe because again, you know, it's like, okay, she can't trust her husband's judgment anymore, so hence, you know, goes to a more trusted employee for, you know, advice, and she's doing it publicly, like in front of the husband. Just kind of kind of embarrassing him in the way that maybe she feels embarrassed to a certain extent. You know, that could be the game that's being played, and it, you know, and it's, you can kind of understand. It's like, at that level, let's say again, they own a business, they have daughters, they have children that are in high school, so because the husband has the affair, do you want the marriage then to be dissolved completely because of that? If it's but the problem is, like, again, he hasn't broken it off, right? And so it makes it very complicated. So that maybe it's like, well, now what if the things that you're trying to keep the marriage together for, the reason why you're turning a blind eye for it, right? What if but then he's still putting the other stuff in danger? Well, yeah, now you probably do have to go beyond that. If he's basically making some very stupid decisions, and it's continuing to making those stupid decisions. Could be something interesting to talk about. But yeah, if it were apparently, like, if you saw it in the States, and it would usually, we see it in like stories in the States. I'm pretty sure in reality, marriages survive affairs. That's reality there. They do survive affairs. Now, it doesn't mean it intact. I mean, it means that there's maybe lasting damage, or changes to what is the marriage. But again, it does happen. Whereas for dramatic purposes in movies and TV shows, they probably just have it where, oh yeah, we got a divorce, we can't stay together at all. You completely destroyed the marriage, even though, and that is where I bring in some arguments. It's like, well, but there's more. If your marriage is only defined, if your marriage can only be, the only thing that destroys your marriage is sex, nothing else, well then obviously that's a shitty marriage. If the person is being abusive with finances, isn't that abusive to the marriage? Why is that abusive with finance any different than being abusive with sex? Well, not abusive, I mean, but not as in basically being dishonest with sexual relations, things being dishonest financial relations, being dishonest with drug use, being dishonest with abuse. So again, these are very destructive aspects to marriages. But the easy go-to is affairs. That's the easy go-to line. Like, oh, that's the one thing that obviously is unforgivable. All this other stuff is fine. I can now that I think about it, I think it could be because again in entertainment media, they want you to be kind of forgiving of someone who's a drunk, be forgiving of someone who's maybe during drug use. Oh, hey, let them get treatment, let them get better. Finances. I mean, but you think finances could be a big thing because that can destroy it. When I say finance, like gambling, or someone who's drinking a lot, gambling a lot, spending money, has no control there. I mean, that's very destructive activity. And there may be good reasons like, hey, look, we can't be together. I mean, this is just the idea of a good marriage is one where you essentially you're better together than you would be apart. Whereas if the only reason this guy, only one person's better when you are together, but apart, the other partner would be so much better. Well, then, yeah, that's not really a good relationship, and it's only going to get worse from there. I mean, if there's not radical change in the personality of the person who's a destructive element. Yeah. So again, you don't know much about the guy. You don't know if he's a good boss. Is he a good husband on various other aspects? Is he a good father? We don't know anything about that. We only see the one thing that he revealed to Kenji, and that's about it. So that's all we know about it. And he's like not smart because again, it was with a customer, and a customer who's not discreet at that. So there. And again, that's where an affair becomes public. Well, then that kind of, in a way, I know it sounds sad, but I can imagine that would lead to a divorce because now you've kind of publicly embarrassed each other. Now now everyone knows about it, and they realize like you're staying with someone who cheats on you, and you might not be willing to accept that. As opposed to you'd be okay if it was slightly okay if it was in secret, one-time thing. But the guy who's not only was it not a one-time thing, he's continued to do it, and he's doing it to where now it's making it where it's like obvious to other people. That can, so it's like, okay, well, we can't like keep it under wraps as a married couple. Who knows? Like I said, this is probably something easier to discuss as a group and instead of one person giving their own opinion, because again, I'm kind of limited in what type of, I'm not a marriage counselor. So and my views are definitely different than, my views are a bit more like, and I'm just going off on what I read on Reddit. It's like, it feels like Reddit goes scorched earth on almost everything, which I think is stupid. But at the same time, they act like there are things where a marriage should be strong enough to recover from. And it's not like all marriages are built the same as well. So knowing that is like saying, careful about giving a direct answer based on just knowing only one particular aspect, because we don't know. I mean, there could be much more to it than that, which could explain why, again, even if the wife knows about it, why she's getting back in it in her own way, but she's not going to go all the way to saying, okay, we're going to stop this marriage and end our business together as well. All right, cool. With that said, let me write it down. All right. After this live stream was over, I'll make it private. It'll be back up on July the 19th. So that's 6 days from now. Thank you all very much for watching. Weird conversation near the end. Apologies about that. The episode ki no nani食べた. This is episode 10. 2 more episodes after this. See, it's 1 o'clock right now. I don't know. I just feel like only doing one of these episodes a day. It just, yeah, no, it just, yeah. I don't know why. It just kind of feels like I only want to do one of these episodes a day. It's hard to say. I'll probably do 2 episodes tomorrow though, and then that way I can then do a couple more on Thursday for Shinya Shokudo, and then maybe even get a couple in on Friday, because Saturday I cannot do anything on Saturday. So that's just like a full work day for me. I might, depending on the schedule, I might be able to get an episode or 2 in on Saturday. But for the most part, yeah, I got to look at it like, nah, Saturday is, no, I'm like teaching all day on Saturdays. This is pretty much all there is to it. Thursday and Fridays, I have like a couple classes on Thursday, a couple, 2 or 3 classes on Friday. But yeah, Saturdays, that's like 6 to 7 classes. I just don't have the time. Yeah, I'm already spent by then, and then I recover on my use Sunday to recover from that. All right. Anyway, that said, if you enjoyed this episode, remember to give it a thumbs up, like. If you enjoy the series, you can subscribe to see more. If you like the Let's Learn Japanese project, you can become a patron. Links below, along with links to the website, the community Discord. But also, if you like to hire me on commission, that's the hourly rates and prices are done via the Patreon, so that can be done as well. Links to direct links for that are down below as well. But again, that's like usually technical assistance advice to get started on something. Usually get started in the learning Japanese using the tools available. I'll be back tomorrow, or I'll be back the next day with episode 11 and probably episode 12, the final episode. I'll add also on a personal note. No. Oh, Vanilla Buns, lovely name. Saying that was fun, thank you. Yeah, I'll add on a personal note. In Anki, I'm doing more sentence mining again. I've started to actually add new cards. I finally added 100 cards in the last few days, so that was good. But which is kind of funny, but a lot of it was also when you do Morphband, you add in words when you're every new word you add, there's also a bunch of words you have to press K or known on, because there's like, oh, I already know these words, so that's kind of cool. So of the 100 I added, there was like 400 words that I already knew, so, or 300 words I already knew, so thought that was kind of interesting. But I realized my Japanese knowledge is so fucking low right now. It is so bad, and hopefully it gets better over time. Yeah. So with that said, thank you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.